Welcome back to Adventure Repeats. Glad to see you here. So if this is your first time here, make sure to like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content on the channel, so be sure to check it out. So today, what we're working on is the shifter on an OMC Cobra. We have a 1989 4-Winds 205 Sundowner with an OMC 5.8 liter engine. So what we're working on today is the shifter. We are having troubles where it will not either sometimes go into gear or even come out of gear. So the lower shift cable's already been replaced, so we know it's not that. So really what it's coming down to is this. The interlock is kind of tricky at best, and it's just not wanting to go and come out of gear. So unfortunately, they don't sell new ones of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out, rebuild it, and then replace the throttle and shift cables while we're at it, because we already got the assembly out. And it's just good preventative maintenance to be done on this thing, because they haven't been done yet on this original boat. So stay tuned, we'll see how it's done. So with the throttle up there, the cables run down the side of the boat and then come back around, and then we got the shifter there and then the throttle there. We're going to start back here at the back end and replace and take off the throttle linkage. So it's going to take it off right there. Then the upper shift cable, which is right here. We're going to take these both off and start cutting zip ties on our way up and forward, so that way when we actually get the shifter out and loose and ready to pull out, we don't have to stop, especially if things are in our hands and it's in a weird spot, to start pulling cables and get that all ready. So we're going to start at the back end and work our way forward and go from there. To get the shift cable out of its mount, you have this 3/8" bolt right there. You loosen that up. That will release the block from the shoe that holds the cable in place. And on this side, you just pull the cotter pin out and that will pull out. And that will release it from the shift cable mount. And throttle is the exact same style. Nut right there, cotter pin right there, and then that will pop out to the side as well. Then we can start working our way forward. So here we have our throttle and shift cables pulled out. Had to cut a crap load of zip ties, new and old, to get them out, but zip ties can be replaced. Got it this far, so now all we got to do is work on getting the shift controls out and go from there. And to get this apart, we're going to start by taking apart this assembly. This little cover pulls off just like that. You got a keeper tab on the bottom. Then this moves back and forth. You can see right there, and it does it by that center bolt right in the middle. So a 7/16 bolt. We're going to loosen that up and take this off so we can get to the mounting screws to be able to get this assembly handle off. And as you can see, that's a bolt right there. And once you get that out, you pull it straight off. You can see this is actually splined to go with the inner shaft. So that shows you how you can line it up there depending on the orientation of the case on the back side. So now we're going to start pulling screws with the outer plate to separate it, to allow it to come out the back side, and we'll pull it out from the back. With the 3 center bolts removed, you can see the wires stay there. They actually go down and run along the side for the trims. And you can see it flopped right out right there. So now we're going to feed it out through the back and get it out and work on it on the bench. So with it being pulled out the back side, these 2 wires right here, that's for the neutral safety switch for starting. You can cut the wires if you want to work on it somewhere else, but I'm going to do it right here on this back seat. So this is the main cover. This plastic cover, this 1 screw, that's what holds where the cable's attached to. And then on this side of it, you have the extra bolts right there, those 3 bolts. That's what separates the case halves to work on all the internals inside of it. And with that cover off, you can see these are where the cables attach. That just pushes right in the holder right there. And then you got the push pin locks right there, so you just pop them out with a screwdriver. They just kind of push out because they just snap into like a plastic bushing. And that's what holds the cables in at the very bottom of it. So just doing a cable swap, it's not too hard, just kind of time consuming. Other than that, we're going to go a step further and take them out and rebuild the internals. And for what it's worth, that side is throttle, that side shift. I like to label things just because I'm there, it makes it faster and helps with the reassembly. This one's easy to get to. That one's a little bit trickier, but you still pop your screwdriver in there or pry bar. Just peel it out. Just like that. That pops it out. We can dig that out with a magnet or just tip it over. Once you get that out of there, this side just pulls right out of that pocket like that. Slide it out. And there you're good to go. These are what those little pins look like. So there's just a tiny little groove. On the one side is the keeper. Then you got the big barrel for the one side, so it only goes in one way. And the cable actually rests on that little dark colored groove right there. And this is what they look like with the two case halves separated. This is on that way. Take the 3 screws out. Comes apart just like this. And here we have all the assemblies. Neutral safety switch right there. So we're going to replace that while we got it apart, because when that goes, well, you got to take the whole thing back apart to replace it. So while we're here, we're going to do it because it's probably the original one. And that, we got a lot of pieces and parts to go. So here we have all the internal moving parts that go on with the inside of this kit. So ideally, you can buy all the parts to make it happen. You just can't buy the case half housings to sell new ones. So honestly, this is how we're doing it, and this makes it cheaper to have all the same mechanisms anyways. So most of this stuff is steel, so is it really ever bad? Probably not. This is actually plastic. That arm, plastic bushing. The rest of this stuff is mostly plastic, but you got your main pin shaft, you got your spring for stuff like that, and that's steel as well. So most of this stuff probably isn't bad, but we're going to replace it since we're in here and doing it anyways. I don't want to take this thing back apart. And you can see the little micro switch comes on the same plate that they always do. So this is everything right here, and we're going to start slowly putting it back together on this. So we're going to start with this half. This actually just pulls right up off the shaft like that, nice and easy. So you can see how it is. That does have a bushing, which the new one has as well. So we'll set that off to the side. This little plastic bushing right here pops right out because it's got the one side, which we have another one of those. So that will set off to the side as well. And that is everything right there. So we'll put it back together with the new pieces and then switch over to this side. So now I got both those parts on there. I know it's unpopular opinion, but I like to grease extra on my stuff just because it's easy to do. It lasts a little bit longer because when they put it on there from the factory, obviously they didn't put much, and over time it just gunks up. That's probably where our issue stems, from gunked up grease. That's not just moving parts. So that's what we got going on from there. Next thing is we'll start on this side. Start taking this apart. That comes off like that. That does have a little bushing on the end of that shaft there. So take this, set it off to the side. Back side's just got those pins in here. This one's got to come out because that has the 2 lock rings on both sides of that cam bushing. So set that off to the side. So that's how they go in orientation. Then we got our spring right there at the very bottom for the neutral safety, or actually neutral throttle, sorry. Then this will obviously push out from the back side just like the other one did. This one, we'll pull this off, maybe. I'll have to pop that one off and separate it. Other than that, that's going to come off separately, and we'll go from there. So I was doing this a little out of order. So you got that screw that was holding in the neutral safety switch. You pull that out, this plate comes off, and this is where you got the spring, the pusher, and that ball tensioner that's putting pressure on this cam assembly. So we got to get that out first because that's got pressure on it, and then we can pull it off and do that part of the assembly. So now that's spread out. Obviously you got the little roller, you got the keeper, and then the spring. We'll put that off to the side here, and then this, you have to take the pry bar and pop this out of there because that little pin goes in that hole right there. So that's what keeps it located in place, and sometimes that bushing keeps that all attached on the shaft. So we're going to put that off to the side, and then this plate comes right off just like that. So there is a little plastic washer right there at the bottom, but it comes off the shaft just like that. And this was facing in that orientation. Sometimes that matters. You got to make sure you do the same. Down like that. And then plastic washer comes off as well. We'll drop that down right there. And now that is pulled apart. So we're going to clean it up and then reassemble with new parts and fresh grease. This is what it looks like with everything rebuilt. All the pieces put back in the same place that they were. Nothing too special, just took it apart, put it back together. Obviously we do have a new micro switch in there. Just took the old wires off, put the wires back on the new switch. That's right there. Now we're going to put the two halves back together and bolt it back together, and we'll be ready to put cables back on. There we have it. Case put it back together with those 3 screws. Right there, and right there. That little bit of grease pop out of this hole right there, so we cleaned it up because we don't want that getting on anything back there. Other than that, you can kind of see in there and everything's put back together the way it was. Pretty simple mechanisms in the end. Just gotta keep up with them. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Now we get to install cables. Before I get on to do cables, before I forget about this bushing altogether, there's a bushing right in the center there that this shaft rides on to make sure it moves back and forth nice and smoothly. That is this plastic split bushing. So now is the time where you can actually push it out the backside. Just push it out with a screwdriver. Then you can slide this new one back in from the inside and grease it up, and it should be good to go. So you don't have to do this one, but sometimes it helps. Now's the time to do it. Fun question always is how to know what throttle cable or shift cable to get, because there's no information on the internet. Nobody ever tells you, and they always say just pull the old one out and just take a tape measure to it end to end, and that'll tell you the length. So we got 13.5 on throttle and 12.5 on the shift. So we got cables for that. Now we got to just reassemble everything. So now you know what it takes for the right cables for this boat. So I know the measurements were kind of weird, but we ordered these new cables as 12 and 13 feet. These are some Dometic ones. These are actually pretty darn sweet. They're super flexible compared to the old ones that were okay flexible. And these things are beefy. There's a big difference in size. So that means the cable's double size, twice as strong, which means it's going to last for a long time. So hopefully these work out as well as they look. So those are the new cables, 12 and 13 feet. We're going to put it back all together. Alright, everything's put back together. Use new pins and bushings, things like that. I put just a dab of grease on it where the connections are, just because if it's going to rotate, at least then it won't bind, in case there were problems like that. But definitely with that throttle cable one back there, make sure that's the day you don't have shaky hands. It's fun to reach back in there with pliers, a little flange to grab onto, try to shove it on there. So other than that, push the pins back on each side. They were self-aligned there, and the rest of the adjustment is done when we reassemble it and hook it back up with the shift mechanism and the carburetor itself. So now we just got to put the black cover back on, put the bolt back in, and this part's done, and we're going to reassemble it back in the wall. Now if you ever need to service anything with a shift handle like this fork arm, things like that, I'm just going to replace mine because it's wore out pretty bad. I know it's wore up there, but we're going to replace this part of it anyways in case it's bent out in a weird way from the previous owner and things like that. So this one we're going to replace. Do that. Once you take this off, you got 2 screws on the back side that allows this cap to come off. If you need to service the trim switch, things like that, that's on the back side that comes off that way. And then this will come out that way. So 2 screws allows everything else to come apart on the actual handle itself. Well, not only did my fork have a wear problem down here at the tip, those are 2 different angles. So definitely shows it was fighting me to come out of gear and things like that. So definitely that'll make it easier, hopefully, for everything to work as it should. So there you can see that shaft in there. Our box is back in place. We got it mounted right back up into the wall, same orientation we had before. This has 3 notches depending on which angle that box needs to be on the back side, so I have it facing up so the cables can go up along the top side with all everything else and then run down the side back to the engine bay. So that's there. Now with this being keyed back here and that shaft being keyed, that's how you set alignment, because that box can be tipped in different angles and different directions. So to match this outside key set, you'll simply just put it back up there into place, find the place that matches neutral 0, because when we put the cables back in, our shift pawls and dogs were all in the neutral position. So we'll just put it back up in there where they're facing straight up, and then put the bolt back in it and put the cover back on, and this will be done. So now we fed the box in through this hole to go there. We have the cable tail sticking out the side here. So now we've got them pushed back through, down and around the corner, same as they were before, and got them coming out here so far. Before I hook them up to the actual linkages themselves, I'm going to actually zip tie everything up here, just in case the cable turns and twists and moves, before I actually put the end piece on there, so that way it doesn't move and bind and change while I'm down here. So zip ties first, connections last. The way the cables get adjusted on this end is you got this little collar that adjusts and threads down or back up the shaft. This little collar fits right in the groove of right there, and then it goes over the shaft. So you simply just do a kind of a trial error, sit there, see if it goes on there. That's where you want it. Then you're good to go. Put the clamshell back on it, lock it down, and you're ready to roll. So that would be the shift. Throttle be over here. That's all there is to it. Throttle cable is going to be the same as the shift cable. You got your clamshell block right back there. So you're going to put it in there, and then you're going to adjust it. Instead of trying to find the exact center, you're just going to run this all the way back, so when the throttle's at the home position, you're at right there. So when your actual shifter throttle is in the home position, everything's back in idle speed. So this one obviously has to be moved with that threaded nut to bring it back a little bit further. We'll put the cotter pin in there. The last thing to do is secure the last little bit of cabling on the back side here, because when I did this, I secured everything all the way up to here. Since this is a corner, I want to make sure I get my connections on both sides, and then I will stabilize and make sure this is all good to make sure we don't have too tight of bends, because you want to keep everything a bend under 5-inch in radius. So once we get this in there, we'll tie up the last little bit of cabling in that back corner. Do a little bit of yoga trying to get back there, but we'll tie it up and then test it out. So we're almost there. So we got both cables in, everything's secured, everything's tied in there. So last thing to do is fire it up, make sure it's all good to go. So what it comes down to for testing is simply just sit in the driveway and cycle the motor, shift it forward, shift it reverse, make sure everything goes into the gear as it should. No popping, chunking, or banging. Make sure everything locks fully in gear. Test the throttle. Make sure you got your throttle response like you're used to. Make sure it goes back down to idle. Make sure idle's at where it should be. And everything's good with air. So pretty much the same stuff you normally do on any other testing the boat on land before you take it out. So other than that, hope this was helpful. That was the full rebuild of the throttle control assembly and replacing the throttle and shift cables of this OMC engine. This was the 5.8 liter V8 OMC on this 1989 205 Sundowner. So hopefully you like the video. Make sure you like it. Comment, tell us what you think, tell us what else you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content already on the channel, so be sure to check it out. And remember, have a great adventure.